Hello and welcome back to the Ambassadors of Gaming channel. I'm Ambassador Michael, and today I will be doing my own impressions, my own review of Ghostrunner, a game I picked up here recently because I kind of saw some trailers for it recently over the last couple of weeks prior to the demo releasing. Then I picked up the demo and I was really impressed with it, so I figured I'd give it a shot. And it released yesterday, and as of recording, I beat the game and I played one extra level to grab some footage for you all so that we could discuss. So some of the things you see here are in an earlier level with abilities and things you obviously unlock later on. But overall, I really enjoyed my experience with Ghostrunner. I think that its fluidity of motion is top tier. I think basically it builds upon what every other free running type game has offered us. But the fluidity is so good in it that it allows you to be in a hand-to-hand kind of combat type scenario with the sword, and it honestly ramps pretty hard. The difficulty ramp is actually kind of significant because it's a one-shot kill game, so if you get hit, you're dead, just period. Whether it be by an environmental factor, whether it be by one bullet from an enemy, whether it be a melee attack, any of that type of stuff, one hit, you're done. Which I found for the most part to be challenging but not impossible. There is one section with a boss area that's very puzzle-like that was extremely difficult. It was well designed, but I think its difficulty is a bit much, or most people will find it to be a bit difficult, a bit more difficult than maybe they feel like it needs to be. Because it's a one-hit kill type of game, there's a lot of rhythm base to kind of how you have to maneuver dealing with enemies and things like that. There's enemies that have front shields that go around about 3/4 of the way of their body, so you have to, and their turn rate is the speed at which they turn is pretty significant. So even then, it's not as easy to get around them as you would typically expect. Otherwise, the things of note really to talk about here are graphically it looks really well done. The respawn times at least on PC, this is the first time I bought a game on PC because I was just really impressed with it on PC, and I worried that maybe if I bought it on console I wouldn't get the same level of experience just because I don't know what it runs like on PS4. I don't know what the PS4 Pro is even capable of running when it comes to this, so I was like, I liked it on PC, I'll just grab it on PC. So the respawn times are really fast, basically instantaneous. If you press the Y button as you die, like you respawn in so quickly you barely even notice the button, if you'll see in some of these clips. And so that was like the two biggest things to me, the fluidity and the load times for respawn, because you die a lot, or at least I died a lot, and it expects you to, honestly, which is fine. So I think the way it deals with exploration, it deals with testing things, and it deals with handling the game itself and kind of learning it and what you're capable of doing in it is handled really well. The upgrade tree, which you'll see here, is a bit weird. It's basically like these little Tetris computer-like blocks, and I always have a lot of difficulty managing them. So if you're like not really into trying to like figure out the puzzle aspect of the upgrade tree, I'm sure you can find some like pre-builds online. So if you're really not feeling having to do that, I would recommend that. But overall, I thought it was a unique take on the upgrade tree and kind of balancing out how you can complete your character, how you can kind of use the upgrades you want to use, but also limiting it so that they could put unique and good abilities within the game that you won't really be able to combine together too well to break the game too much. It kind of limits you from breaking the game, which I appreciate because I understand you have to balance it from a dev perspective, and I think they handled that really well. I think the weakest part of the game, though, if we have to talk about strengths, I feel like weaknesses is applied as well. The story is not super important, I don't feel like. it's not bad. It's not terrible. It's enjoyable, but it was the first time I've played a game in recent years where I would like, well, I was streaming it, so I wasn't really paying attention much to the story. I wasn't really invested in it, and then I listened to like a video while I finished it up today. So I knew what was happening in the story, but it just didn't really pique my interest too much because it seemed very I don't want to say predictable because I feel like that's a bit mean for how much I actually do enjoy this game, but it was pretty by the numbers. I kind of figured out what was happening with each kind of plot point, and you know, that's fine. I don't think you're really going to want to play this game for the story anyways. I don't think that's its strong suit, honestly. I think playing this game, the story has to kind of be there, because if it wasn't, everybody would complain. But overall, I think the free running aspects, the combat, and the abilities, and the way you can utilize all of those things together really make a huge difference. One of the things that's really that makes a big difference is not only the dash, the mid-air dash, but the mid-jump dash, but also their ability to kind of slow down time while you're dashing. So you can hold down the dash button 10 or the slowdown state, and then when you release it or the timer runs up, you will just dash forward, whether you hit the attack button or whether you just let go of dash or it times out. And I feel like that really also helped to make it unique. And obviously, like Titanfall 2 probably couldn't do something like that, obviously because of the multiplayer, and the single player maybe, but it didn't really make sense for that world. In this one it does because it's very cyberpunk and futuristic. So overall, I think this game is definitely worth a while looking at. I think right now it's $24 to $25 launch price, which is honestly pretty good considering what I feel like you're going to get the value out of this game. I have to check my time, but I know I streamed it for 3 hours, and I think I probably played it for, I would say 4 or 5, so you probably get like 7 to 8 hours. But if you're just like, if you're really good at the game, you'll probably get 6 to 5, honestly, on your first run through of it. But overall, 25 bucks, 6 to 8 hours. I think that's a pretty valuable price. I think that it had some interesting concepts, and as of now, I feel like it's the king of the Freerunners. So I think that's where I'll leave it here. If you're interested in Ghostrunner, of course, you can find it on PlayStation Store, Xbox, and PC. I believe it's coming to Switch as well at a later date. I don't remember when. I think in November at some time, or December. So, and if you have picked it up or you're interested in playing it, please let us know. We would love to discuss it with you in the comments and all of that type of stuff. So of course, if you could do the engagement type things, it would be greatly appreciated. Anything you do to engage with the channel really helps us. So liking, sharing, subscribing, all of that, letting your friends know, sharing the videos really helps the most. Commenting, all of that type of stuff. I know it's super annoying to hear, but we got to do what we got to do, you know, to try to get things up. So I appreciate you all staying with me. I appreciate you hearing what I have to say on Ghostrunner, and I will see you in the next one.